Donald. I am a third year here at UC Davis. I am a global disease biology major, and I identify as gay.
I am a film and theater double major.
And I'm gay.
I'm a fourth year cell biology student.
I identify as lesbian.
I guess bisexual, still figuring it out.
I identify as non-binary, and I'm bi.
I am a gay, cisgendered male.
It was really noticeable in first grade when my classroom, by happenstance, happened to split off with the boys group and the girls group, and I was the one girl with the boys.
I kind of just went to my mom and I was like, Mom, I'm in love with her. What do I do?
I had a huge crush on Spider-Man.
There was this one boy at his locker on the other side of the room, and for some reason I'd always find myself wandering my way over there to not so subtly check him out. And I started wondering, okay, I don't think other guys are doing this in my class.
I realized that I was attracted to women when I fell in love with my best friend in college. And originally I just thought it was her specifically that I was in love with, but after we broke up I started realizing that I noticed women more than I noticed men. When I went out with friends and they were complimenting guys, I never really thought to even look at them. I was only looking at girls.
But growing up, I grew up in a very Catholic, conservative family, and so it was kind of like I knew that being gay wasn't okay, or well, I thought being gay wasn't okay, and so it was just something that I just kind of kept quiet and repressed for a while.
Obviously, as a high school student, you want to fit in. You don't want to be the outcast, and I just wanted to keep my friend group, and I felt like in my friend group it would have been weird to come out as queer.
It made me feel different. It made me feel kind of left out almost, and it almost kind of hurt because then I didn't have anything to talk to my friends about, and it just limited who I could relate with.
Coming home at the end of the day a lot of the time and just throwing myself on my bed and screaming in my head, why me?
I've definitely struggled with suicidal thoughts, and I've attempted it, and it's just, I've been in the place of not feeling like things are ever going to get better or things are ever going to improve for myself, to the point where I kind of gave up.
It's scary because there's always this chance that this woman who you've grown up with and who's taught you everything you know in your life, there's a possibility that maybe, just maybe, they won't accept you for who you are, and that's terrifying.
My father raised me to always stand up for what I believe in, and fight the man, and always be out and loud about what I believe in. So when he's the one who told me that maybe I should shorten a gay straight alliance to GSA on my resume, and the off chance someone doesn't support that, that was probably one of the more devastating moments.
Throughout a lot of my adolescence, I was surrounded by a lot of homophobic language. A lot of it wasn't directed at me per se, but just kind of hearing that all the time really sunk in, and it was pretty easy for me to kind of associate my homosexual feelings with a negative connotation because of that, and so that really made for a rough transition into high school.
I was dependent financially and emotionally on the people that weren't going to accept who I was, and I felt like there wasn't going to be a way out of the situation.
So I worked up enough courage to sit my parents down and tell them that I was gay, and their response was denial. They told me that it was a phase, that these feelings that you have for guys wasn't a natural thing. It wasn't something that you truly believed. And basically they just shut me down. And, it hurt. It hurt a lot. And it really depressed me because it was just, I was putting my soul, like I was putting my identity out. I was telling them the truth. And they just told me that they invalidated everything that I had told them. They just told me that I was, a fraud, basically.
So my dad's side of the family is Mormon, and I came out to them this summer, and it was so emotionally intense for me to feel like this moment that I had been terrified of for years, because I have always been so scared that part of the family finding out that I was gay would just cause this huge rift. And so that was just the weight of years and years of terror was very painful. But when I did come out, it went pretty well, actually.
I told my mother the summer before my sophomore year of college that I wanted to cut my hair, and she freaked out. And she basically locked me in the house for about 2 weeks, and unfortunately she had unlocked my phone and found out that I was dating my partner and that I wasn't straight and that my gender identity wasn't cis, and she basically freaked out and she manipulated me into going to India for vacation for about 2 weeks. And that didn't turn out well because she ended up holding me hostage there for about 2.5 months before I was luckily able to contact NCLR, which is National Center for Lesbian Rights, who worked with my partner to find me a place where I could be safe from my mother and my abusive family environment in India. And honestly, while that experience was traumatic and terrible, I honestly am in a much better place now than I was in my previous years living with my parents.
When I got to college at UC Davis, it was the best thing of my life because everyone was so different. Everyone was free to be who they were, and that freedom and that diversity just inspired me to be who I really was, to stop believing the lie that I could be straight.
And you just feel like now you can speak what's on your mind without getting kind of scared of what people think. Before you'd have to kind of police yourself and be like, oh, like if I say that, people think I'm gay, or oh, if I say that, like that's a little like too revealing of like who I really am, And so coming out, like you just can say whatever the hell you want, and it's amazing, and like you can like really express yourself, and it's really helped my relationship like with like my friends grow and flourish because now I kind of have to hide it inside of me, and it's really awesome.
It felt so amazing to feel like this part of me that I felt like was a tumor that needed to be gotten rid of was suddenly just another aspect of who I was, that it didn't matter. But at the same time, not that it wasn't important, but that it was no more or less important than any other aspect of who I was.
Everything is just so much easier and it's so much more fun and more exciting. It just feels like it's a better fit overall.
I can just be myself with more people, and if you don't like who I am because of my sexual orientation, like I know what kind of person you are now, and like I don't want to like be friends with you.
If I could tell my 14-year-old self who was just realizing that she was gay, and one thing, it would be that it's okay to not know for sure.
It's okay to not know exactly where you're going. You don't have to put a label or an identity on this, but don't let that consume your life, because it's just one part of you. It's not everything.
The world doesn't hate you. The world is ready to know who you really are, and there are people out there that will love you if you can't find that love at the moment.
Something I think we may have all thought one point or another while, coming out is, God, I wish I was straight. I think that's something that we've all thought, or just think, wanted at one point or another. So I think I know how it feels like to want to change your sexuality, want to change who you are, want to be normal,
I know what it's like to feel like you're exhausted and desperate to the point where you don't even know why it's worth living anymore.
I know what it's like to feel like you can only express your love to someone behind a closed door.
To worry constantly, will I lose my job if I say something? Will I lose my friend?
I know what it's like to feel very alone, and to feel like, especially in a very conservative environment, that you're the only one.
But I also know what it's like to finally love and accept every part of me. And it is amazing.
It really does get better in college. You find people who are unique. You find people who aren't afraid to be themselves. You find people who will love you for you.
A lot of it is just about you getting better, feeling stronger, more confident, and better able to stand up and say, I don't care what you think, this is who I am.
I think as you grow to accept yourself and love yourself, it definitely does get better.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It did get a lot better.
It gets so much better.
Trust me. Give it some time. Just keep holding on, because it will get better.
Oh, you let me shine on when time was on.